Jake Ludington here at HPE Discover, and I'm here with Art Wong. And cybersecurity is, of course, something that every business is concerned with. But I'm curious to see what you guys are seeing around where you think cybersecurity is going over the next 3 years.
Well, I think what we're going to see, in the next 3 years, is that you're going to see continued attacks in terms of volume and the sophistication of attacks that we see going forward. I think that we're going to see a lot more in terms of cyber espionage. Actually, we might even see private companies from certain countries. They actually might be building offensive cybersecurity activities, so they can actually go do cyber corporate espionage around the world as a supplement to doing their own research and development. So we're going to see a lot more of that. I think we're going to see a lot more impact, probably not just in enterprises and companies, but right down to our daily lives, because of all the devices that are being connected up to the internet and to everything else today. We're going to see that those devices and our use of these devices and these applications that are sitting in the cloud, I think that we're going to see much more in terms of attacks going after everyday devices, whether it's going to be your refrigerator, your car, in addition to your laptop, your PC, and your corporate data center.
So what do you see as kind of the big security challenges that corporations are going to face?
Well, with the challenges that pretty much every single enterprise, every single company is going to face, it really falls into a number of categories. You take one around the sophistication and volume of attacks coming in from adversaries that are highly collaborative, highly organized, very well funded. New methods of hacking and stealing information and credentials. It's going to continually get developed. So each and every day, each and every week, you're going to get more and more sophistication in the hacker community. They're going to become more and more collaborative, and you're going to see that pretty much for every company, you're going to see that the regulatory environment around governance and how you conduct your business in these regulatory environments, you're going to see a level of complexity and an increased level of compliance and regulations, probably in every single industry and for every single company. And so you have IT professionals and executives and companies. They're going to have to deal with not only the threats and greater volumes of threats and security, but they're going to have to do that with lower budgets, and they're going to have to do that with higher complexity and a higher need for compliance and governance in their business and their organization. And then followed up, thirdly, by you have this changing IT, changing enterprise IT, and everyone wanting to adopt and take advantage of a new style of IT, taking advantage of innovations in IT like mobility, bring your own device, using cloud applications. Cloud data, taking advantage of all those things, then the challenge of actually being able to secure all that in light of the increased hacker attacks and the collaboration and the sophistication of attacks against all those things that they have to protect against.
So when a company has to think about this sort of fundamental change in all of these attacks that they're going to have to be looking at, what kind of a security transformation do they have to go through?
Well, security transformation really follows business transformation and what the business goals happen to be in that organization, and where that transformation starts is really around identifying all the critical digital assets in that organization and in that company, and they usually fall into the category of users, apps, data, and then the interactions between them, regardless of where they are, whether they're on premise inside a company, or whether they're in the cloud, or more likely they're going to be in both. They're going to have something on premise, they're going to have users on premise, they're going to have users going through the cloud. The data, the applications, and the interactions are going to be in both. And so the first step is really identifying the critical assets and then locating those critical assets and where they are, putting up and building security right into the fabric of each and every one of these pieces of the critical assets, no matter where they are, and then being able to build a capability and around intelligent security operations, such that you can actually monitor and quickly detect security breaches. because the new kind of environment that we're in today is that it's not a matter of if a breach will occur, it's a matter of when. And how can you mitigate damages? So it's really important to be able to develop a capability to be able to quickly detect and respond to that breach, that inevitable breach, when it's going to happen. And that's going to be part of the security transformation. The last part of a security transformation is really around being able to recover from some of these catastrophic events. You have a lot of plans in companies around earthquake, disasters like fire, flood, and business interruption. But for cybersecurity attacks and breaches, there are very few companies that actually have recovery plans in order to deal with those kinds of breaches. So to be able to recover from a breach and from an event is really, really important. And you've got to be able to build that in from the beginning, not think about it after a breach has occurred. So it's a matter of building in protection and protecting your critical digital assets, being able to detect and respond quickly to a breach when it happens, and then to be able to recover from an incident after something happens. And then throughout the entire process, to be able to continuously monitor and to be able to assess and understand the risk in your own environment by doing either self-assessment and third-party assessment to understand where you are, where you need to go, and how your security is, how effective your security is at not only today's threats but tomorrow's threats as well.
So how does HPE fit into kind of this whole transformation, or is HPE kind of the third party that you might look to poke holes in your security plan?
Oh, absolutely. At HPE Security, we have an end-to-end capability to be able to help our customers all the way from being, from top security advisors around the world with expertise globally in the security domain, but also with local knowledge of customs and laws and regulations to be able to help our customers architect and build secure infrastructures and systems to be able to help them implement it, and then to also be able to help manage and run for them as well. Because in today's world, where the security hackers, where the hackers and the adversaries are very collaborative, it's a huge, it's $105 billion ecosystem of adversaries there. Companies are really outmanned. It's what we would call an asymmetric problem, where it's pretty much one-sided, where the bad guys have all the assets, have all the capabilities, and the individual companies and individuals don't have the same level of collaboration and organization that they do. And so consequentially, you see that in the good guy environment, there's actually a lack of skills and the ability to hire qualified security people around the world to be able to help protect their environments. Where HPE, at HPE Security, we have thousands of security professionals. We have over 4,500 security professionals in pretty much every major center around the world to be able to take that security expertise and domain experience to be able to help our customers solve problems and use security to actually enable their business and enable their business goals through the use of security, as opposed to having security stop them or prevent them from doing things. It allows them to actually help do things that their businesses need to do.
All right, well, Art, I look forward to you helping businesses continue to succeed and avoid the security problems.
Jake, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks.